It is Sunday, November 23rd, 2014. Jake and I just came from the center of the stairs, straight into this apartment. Jake and I have had no contact with anyone on East Boulevard Street today, except for our dear sweet housemate, Roland. And in fact, Jacob has not had any contact. Jake hasn't had any contact with Roland today. Oh, right, the lever.
No, it's supposed to be down. Oh, I thought it was
up. Oh, yeah. Jacob hardly ever talks to Roland.
Oh, is it down? Oh. Why is this class like this?
Huh?
Why is this glass like this?
It looks like it has bubbles in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why it would have bubbles in it. Oh, these are your keys. Yeah.
Well, you have it.
I'll put it in your wallet. It's right there. Jake,
what?
You want some pizza?
Where's your wallet?
It's under that bottom shelf on the top of the desk. Right there, just straight under there. We're going to do to the other side. No, other side. Right there by the divider. On the other side of the divider. No, not there. That little board in the middle where you just had your hand. Yeah, just reach down right there. It's right there. There it is. So, Ro pitched a bitch at me today about the text message I sent to him where I said, and Ro sneaked out, just tried to sneak out. So I couldn't hear him leave last night in the middle of the night, but it didn't work. Well, okay. So Roland told me I couldn't drive the Sentra anymore. I told him I wasn't going to suck his dick for him. And then I asked him, the other day, he took off right before I was supposed to take Jake to school and came back at 8 o'clock, and he did that to punish Jake. And he said, yes, he did that to punish Jake. He said, you're damn right I did. Which it was silly because it was freezing cold that morning. And Roland did that so I couldn't drive Jake to school. So now he told me I couldn't drive it anymore, and I should have thought about that before I sent the text message to him. I said, you know what, I didn't. I sent that to you accidentally. But if you'd like to read my text messages, I post them all on Facebook, and you can read them all if you like. And if you like, you can watch my videos that I'm making, and I'm taping all this. And you can watch them on YouTube. He said, I don't care if you tape me. So he's trying to take authority over me, and I'm not. He's a bum. You know, we don't have electricity now because of him. I'm talking to my video machine. So that's what it is. You watched my videos from last night. I haven't uploaded them yet because I didn't get to go to the library today. I videoed myself while Roland was coming in and out of this apartment all night. Last night, 3 or 4 times. And so it's not a question of me saying things about the mark that he didn't do. He did exactly what I said he did. And he's trying to intimidate me now. And he even has told him to try to take authority over me. So I sent him a message and told him I was sorry if I hurt his feelings, that excuse me for trying to get some sleep last night, that I have to go to work and somebody's got to work in this house. We've got to get the electricity turned back on. So I said I could only use the Sentra to drive to work and to take Jake to school and to come back home. And I guess I'm supposed to play Mother May I, which I'm not going to. I mean, I've walked thousands of miles in this country. I've traveled this country from coast to coast on Greyhounds and walked miles before dawn every morning for months on end. And I don't want to have to go back through that, but I'm not going to have somebody trying to tell me where I can go or can't go. It's nobody's business. So I asked him if I was shall I drive myself to work tomorrow, and Roland didn't respond to me. So nobody has any authority over me and my son, and nobody's going to take authority over me and my son, and nobody's ever supervised me and my son but me. I don't need anybody else to try to tell me how to wipe my ass. I know how to wipe my ass. I know how to pay bills. Roland was the one who didn't pay the bills. Somebody is supposed to be supervising him. The sheriff's department is. He didn't pay his part of the utilities for 5 months, so our cable got cut off and our electricity got cut off. Our gas and water were both supposed to be cut off, but anyway, it's ridiculous. Okay, yeah, we can play rummy, and I'm going to go fix those pizzas. They've been sitting there at room temperature for 2 days.
I also want to have some spaghettios.
Oh, yeah, we'll have some SpaghettiOs.
I'm just going to eat it with sausage and little pepperoni.
It's just really, what bugs me is the behavior is so childish, and the manipulation that Roland's trying to use. He's trying to lie and say he's not doing the things that I know he's doing and can prove he's doing and have proved he's doing. You know, it's just lies upon lies.
The pizza.
And they don't care. Yeah, we can have the pizza, 2 of them.
Yeah, I know. I was just telling you what I was going to have.
Okay, you're having pepperoni.
Yeah.
I think there's a cheese one over there.
No, it's not.
Oh, I thought I got just. I wanted the sausage. Or wait, you like sausage, but do you like the combination one?
Yeah.
That one's got onions, green peppers, pepperonis, mushrooms, and sausage on it.
So I'm clear myself by saying I was going to have this, but I was also trying to say I was trying to say that I was going to have chocolate.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Okay. You don't like the combination, though, do you?
I do like combination.
Oh, you do? Okay. Oh, good.
There is no combination.
There's a combination on the bottom over there. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, these are just petty, ridiculous, childish behaviors and very abusive behaviors by informants like Roland and Eva. Like today when I was leaving to go in the center and stuff, the people next door, the drunkards, were over there drinking. Shantae was sitting on the porch over there, and I was holding my cell phone up to my mouth, and I was talking quietly into it because I was holding my little disc recorder. But I wasn't speaking loud enough for anybody to hear what I was saying. And they started saying, "Oh, she's lying. Look, she's doing it again." They're trying to say that I act stupid and silly. Do you see me out in the fucking yard smoking pot and dope in front of God and everybody in broad daylight? Do you see me stumbling all over the fucking road drunk? I don't do drugs. I've never done them a day in my life, and I don't know what this drunkard woman thinks she's doing, but I will fucking put a goddamn bullet in her head before she ever starts to look me in the face and tell me what to do. I'm not a dopehead, and I've never done drugs a day in my life, and I don't drink, and I'm not going to have a fucking ex-convict that can't even go out and get a fucking job tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break. Jesus fucking Christ.
So for the pizza, maybe now we can find pizza.
Yeah, I'll go cook the pizza now. Here, give it to me, and I'll go cook it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can smell the smell of jalapenos and really spicy foods and rolling stools that he apparently passed in the bathroom because the aroma is wafting through the apartment right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's been eating high on the hog. He's just been feeding him, and they've probably been spending money they're saying they're spending on us. Which is why we're playing these stupid little petty mommy, daddy, may I games. Yeah. Oh, we ate pizza that has been thawed and sitting at room temperature for 2 days because we don't have refrigeration. Because Roland didn't want to pay the utilities for 5 months and put my money on it for 5 months without telling me. Because he wasn't paying his money. Okay, you know, I'm the one who's got to deal with it. So I've never talked to that drunkard woman or her drunkard man husband, boyfriend. She stood on Patton Lines, porch with Jake and I were sitting in the center with all our windows up, walked out with the phone up to her and looked down at me, and then turned around and went back. It was in Patton Lines' apartment, and then a guy pulled up at the curb in front of our property, and then somebody was sitting in her white Impala, and she took a bunch of food downtown. It's ridiculous games, is what it is. These are a bunch of dopehead drunks, okay, on drugs that don't want to work for a living, that are doing nothing but trying to find ways to suck the blood out of me and my son, and are being paid to do that and treated like they are police officers and have the full authority to do what they're doing. And they're trying to sit here and play, like, mouthing off to me the way they were, or I don't speak to them, I don't even look at them, I was looking straight down. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's nothing but hate. I mean, they threaten me and stuff like that, too. I can't stand living here. This is a fucking shithole with a bunch of fucking dopehead drunks falling all over me and Jake to lie through their fucking teeth so they can get a paycheck. Eva doesn't never spend a dime on Jake or me. Nobody spends a dime on Jake or me but me. I don't drink beer or nothing. That guy that was playing it as a snitch at the library told me I was an addict. After I told him I've never done drugs a day in my life, what does that tell you? It was being audio monitored. Somebody's going to go back over it and change the words to make it sound like I said something else. Good, you can do it all day, asshole. I was recording too. Yay for you. Jake is terrified now. He's afraid for me to even send a message to Ron. There's the car. He's afraid Ron is going to start screaming at us when we walk in the door. Because that's what Roland does, and that's what Eva does, and that's what the neighbors do. And they all want to sit around and talk about me and call me bitch and threaten to beat me up and stuff. While I'm coming up and down the stairs, there's no reason to say stuff like that. The whole goal is to provoke me and to harass me. And I couldn't videotape because all my cell phone's not today. Well, when I use the Samsung to upload my videos, that's essentially what this is about, is preventing me to go to places. So, good luck with that. That's not going to work. I rode city buses for years, walked for miles to get someplace just because I didn't want to wait 2 hours before the next bus came. I got there too. $10:22 p.m. Sunday, November 23rd, 2014. Roland's TV is in Roland's back seat. So, as I suspected, it appears that Roland is moving. Like right now, I'd like to go to the store and buy some cigarettes. I can't. I'm supposed to play these little Mother May High games and ask if I can go here and there. I'm not going to do that. I'm 44 years old. I don't need to ask anybody permission where I go. That's not going to happen. It's nobody's business where I go. And if you don't have a fucking court order to ask or to be told, then you're not going to find out from me because it's none of your fucking business. Unless the game Roland's playing and he's doing it because that's what Beavis told him to do. So these are pathetic manipulations by people that are doing nothing but stealing and lying, saying they're supervising me and Jake. Look where we live. There's my mattress on the floor. Right there, you can't see it. There's the hole in the wall that the birds like to come sit in to stay warm out of the cold or to get out of the rain. There's the ceiling separated from the wall with the dirt hanging down. I'm sorry. I need to fight for what? A shithole? So a bunch of fucking niggers on drugs, on dope, can all sit around and do all drugs all day, and Roland can go partying for 2 nights in a row with Eva while he goes out and doesn't pay the fucking electric bill and doesn't pay the bills, and I pay my part and our electricity is cut off now, and these people aren't smoking and dope and drinking all day and sitting there mouthing off and threatening me and my son. What am I missing here? Really, I'd love for somebody to explain that to me. Because I don't have bitch written across my forehead, and I'm not going to be treated that way. That's not going to happen. I mean, seriously. I'm not going to beg somebody. I'm not going to suck his dick for him either. That's not going to happen either, okay? And that's what he was trying to do. I've never consented to supervision. I've never received supervision. I've never given anybody my permission to act as my representative in financial transactions, in accepting notifications of warrantless searches, of giving consent for people to testify about me and my son or monitor me and my son. Nobody's got that, my legal consent to do that or engage in any type of banking transactions or check cashing or purchases or anything like that. And that's what this is all about. And the reason that I don't have any money right now is because Double O Dumbfuck is sitting back doing this and using these stupid, pathetic games like what Roland's playing with me now over this intro. Wants to take away my pay. So I have to depend on him. I have traveled this fucking country from coast to coast. I got jobs all over this country, from Santa Barbara, California, to Denver, Colorado, to Houston, Texas. You know what? Give me a fucking break. Are you fucking serious? Do you really think so? And I'm going to sit here and cry because I'm so scared. Is that what you think's going to happen, asshole? You haven't never walked those streets, have you, and faced those people that are out there. Maybe that's where you and Roland and Eva and all your fucking drunk-ass niggers that are sitting there holding phones up to their ears and just stepping outside the second floor door and staring at me and my son for 2 seconds. Right? Really? I mean, you know what? I hope one day it works out for you. If you try real, real hard, asshole, whoever you are. I bet if you work at it very diligently, you might be able to walk and chew gum at the same time, too. I'm only sitting here right now because I can't even drive my fucking truck because Roland broke the son of a bitch car, my Durango, and won't fix it. He told me I could take it to Broadmoor Mechanics and have them fix it. So, you know, this is the game we're playing. No, I'm not going to play that game. I got some place to take my truck if I need to, if it doesn't get fixed. That's not a problem. I'm not going to lose my truck. I damn sure ain't going to sit here and let these fucking vultures rip me and my son apart. You know, if you want to give away money, if you want to feed taxpayer dollars to a bunch of fucking ex-cons, prostitutes, whores, dopeheads, and drunks, you know what? If your boss is going to let you do that and you think that's okay to do, and nobody's going to stop you, and nobody gives a damn when I go down to the police station and tell them all what your snitches are doing and stuff, you know what? More power to you, asshole. But you know what? You're not going to do this and butcher me and my son this way. Not going to happen. You're doing it already, and you think I'm your bitch. I'm not. I'm not your bitch, and I'd beat the shit out of Roland and Eva right now if I could. But I've never even been in a fight. It would give me nothing but sheer pleasure to put a bullet between his eyes right now, and Eva's, and your snitches out there to sit back and drink, and they were drunk. Fuck this. When Jake left to go to the library today at 1:20, they were drunk. Okay, they were still drinking. Right? Jake rode to the library on his bicycle, and Roland pulled his little game when I was gonna go to get Jake from the library. So Roland got in the center and he took off. He disabled the engine so I can't start it. And that he has to, you know, make it work. So, you know, he took off in the center with Fifi and Red, drove up towards Alexander, and I walked on foot all the way from East Boulevard Street to Cornwall Avenue to Dalzell to Uri to East Kings Highway to the Duck Pond, and I walked into the library at 5:55. I actually talked to a guy outside for about maybe 10 minutes. Paid him 50 cents for a cigarette. He was an undercover cop, narcotics, street cop. I could tell just from the way he was talking to me. He kept trying to get me to say I was an addict, and I told him, no, I've never done drugs a day in my life. And he said, you're an addict. So I was like, okay. How does that work? No, I'm not. I've never done drugs a day in my life. Sorry. No, don't do it.
How could you tell he was a street cop?
Oh, because of the way he was acting. He was a snitch.
What, you can tell, like, the difference between a snitch and...
You can tell. Yeah, you can tell the way they are. When they say things, he said he was addicted to cigarettes. He said, yeah, I'm an addict. I said, really? What else do you do besides cigarettes? I said, you ever do anything else besides cigarettes? He said, yeah, a little, sometimes I really have. I said, oh, you know, I've never done drugs a day in my life. And he kept trying to tell me I was an addict. And he said, well, what do you do? I said, well, I can't you look at me? You can say I weigh 300 pounds. You can say, well, I eat too much, you know. That's not against the law. Neither is smoking cigarettes. So, yeah, you can tell because they try to act like they don't know what they're talking about. But you can tell by the way they roll their eyes and their,
Yeah, but you can tell the difference between like a regular stench and a street cop stench.
well, like these double and dumb folks like Roland and Eva
Yeah.
and the drunkard woman over there, and them all walking around while I'm videotaping them standing there staring at me, or not even saying a word, just stepping out for a minute with their phone up to there and then saying it doesn't matter. Yeah, it matters. The U.S. attorney has a starts, you know, somebody calls me and said, you need to read this woman's Facebook page. Have you seen these videos she's got on YouTube? Somebody calls me and says that to him, he's going to look at my webpage, he's going to see this shit, and they're going to all of them go to jail. Falsifying evidence.
Oh, don't sit in
Perjury. Rolling that shit. Fuck Rolling. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know, and he thinks, this is what he thinks. He thinks he's Mr. Hotshot ex-convict. He even told me this one day. You know, the warden told me that now I have inmates, Rolling, but you guys, you were convicts. Yeah. You were convicted of a fucking crime. I think he was convicted of too. Alright? So that's the shit, right? That's what he thinks. And like he told me when he was in prison, there was a guy that was murdered on his cell block. People went in, were questioned by the warden one at a time. They went in and they came out. 2 minutes later, there was one guy who stayed in there for 15 minutes. So you know what? Roland made him a sandwich. Gave it to the guard outside and said, would you give this to him? He's been in there a long time. I don't want him to get hungry. You know what's the message?
what?
I'm going to kill you if you don't stop talking. Anybody in there for more than 2 minutes was considered to be snitching.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the kind of stuff he sees himself as this heroic convict, as a hero. No, you're not a hero to go to jail. You're not a hero for being, you know, go to prison, and you're one of the tough guys, you know.
Well, actually, you know, what depends on what type of security was he in? Was he in minimum security or maximum security?
I don't know. But that's the game he's playing. But he's parted with reality. He didn't want to work, okay? He could have fixed my Durango if he wanted to, but he refused to. I remember he was telling me, go buy your serpentine belt and your water pump, and I'll fix it for you this week. And I said, Roland, you just had a catheter put in. You need to wait and see, you know, make sure you're okay. Your health, you know, you need to think about that. And so that's the kind of bullshit. I got to go get the pizza out. Or you want to go get it? Okay.
I might go check suitcases out.
She's raising hell. She's barking all over the place. Here, I'll go see what she's doing.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, Roland's been eating a lot of food the last couple of days because this shit smells like restaurant food.
All the shit.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to renew their vows to eat you and me alive so they can keep getting that money for free so they don't have to work for a living. That's what I think that is. You want me to say, Mommy, may I, to a fucking convict? Are you serious? And Eva, convicted prostitute, sex criminal. Oh, yes. I think she did 8 years for prostitution. Oh, I'm sure that was for her first offense, and she'd never turned tricks before. Her ex-boyfriend was a DEA agent. And,
Oh, wow. Okay, that's kind of...
yeah, the judge looked at his rap sheet and said he should have gotten 50 years for everything he'd done, but he didn't because he was a snitch for the DEA. He got arrested again. The judge told him, sorry, this time you lose. You're going to jail. And he went to prison. But hey, you got his get out of jail free card. Got to keep doing drugs for free. That's all he had to do was lie. or tell the truth, but he probably lied. All snitches do is lie. I never believe anything a snitch says. Knowing what I know now, if I was on a jury, I wouldn't believe anything a snitch said.
Now, usually in prison, here's the thing. I figured out how it works, okay? Cigarettes are money.
You know what? Why don't you get us a couple of plates? You want me to come with you?
I don't need you to help me get a plate.
Okay. I have never given anyone consent to spend any money that was available for me and my son to use. That has never happened. I will walk everywhere I need to go. I will get up at fucking dawn. I used to get up when I was pregnant with Jake, before dawn, and start walking. I walked from before dawn till after the sun went down. It's pathetic, isn't it? This whole situation is such a ridiculous situation that it's unfathomable to me that anybody as ridiculous as to do something like this and use people like this that are just the degenerates of society. You're going to sit here and what, threaten me, try to provoke me, play stupid games like Roland's playing with me right now. Sorry, not buying it. None of them have my consent to do anything on any case that has to do with me and Jake. And the only thought that gives me pleasure is the thought of blowing their brains out. And dragging their dead carcasses to the Shreveport police station and leaving them on the front lawn. If I could do it and get away with it, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Wouldn't think twice about it.
So that's for prison. I believe that cigarettes are currency. And,
right.
Now, wait, they're allowed to make their own food? They just go and make a sandwich?
Yeah, they can have food in their cell. Roland thinks this is prison. No, this is a home. You don't get to surveil people just because you want to. You don't have a search warrant. You're not a cop. Roland is ex-convict. Notice difference. Ex-convict, police officer. One good, one bad. In this case, I guess it would be too bad.
Yeah, I read that, like, even in the maximum security prison, there's, like, tons of shit to do. You know, like, walk the freedom there.
Yeah, basically try to keep from getting killed every day.
Oh.
And get your ass beat every day and then raped over and over again.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff Roland did. He sounds to me like he was probably a party to a homicide.
Yeah, probably.
Why would he, okay, if he was not a party to the homicide, why would he want to go out of his way to protect somebody that had committed it by trying to intimidate a witness to the murder by making him a sandwich that way? So he could be esteemed by the other prisoners and they'd think, wow, Roland's really a badass motherfucker. Yeah, he's fucking Navy SEAL Special Forces. He could fucking snap your neck in half. Of course he's a badass motherfucker.
Here. But here's the thing. If it really doesn't matter whether or not you're good at fighting in prison.
Give me that water.
That's my water. It's your water.
Give me that water.
That water?
Yeah.
Oh, this is my water. No, well, you can pour some in
Yeah,
there.
I can pour some of it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can tell if someone's lying. If they say that they're Navy SEAL Special Forces, they're not going to go over and try and intimidate other prisoners. Navy SEAL Special Forces will sit there quietly until someone comes up to them, and when someone does come up to them, they're going to beat the living shit out of them. Then they're going to sit back down because you're eating their food. That's Navy Special Forces. Just a badass will just beat the shit out of anyone.
That's the kind of environment he's used to, and that's what he's treated me like I'm a convict in a cell block with him.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if it's actually possible to avoid the whole prison getting the beat shit out of you, because what if you, don't draw attention to yourself at all? Just don't speak to anyone, don't...
And they'll come looking for you, honey. As soon as you walk in, you're fresh meat.
Yeah.
You won't be there 5 minutes before they're beating you up.
Well, it's not if you win or lose the fight, if you fight back.
Yeah, it's not if you win or lose, it's whether or not you can take the licks and stand there and take them without bursting into tears and begging for mercy. Please don't hit me. No, don't do that to me, please.
Yeah, because
I'm crying.
Someone that... Because if you sit there and you have the shit beat out of you and you have a bloody nose and you're knocked on the ground, if you just lay there, everyone's going to come over there and ass rape you and just take turns ass raping you. But if you get up and then you run straight into the motherfucker and knock him to the ground while you have a bloody fucking nose, then everyone's going to view you as badass.
Yeah. That's right. And that's the kind of mentality Roland has. Unless you drop a hammer on him. And I don't mean don't do that anymore, Roland. I mean call the police and have him put in handcuffs. Like his old habits, what he's always done. Then you're a pushover, and he can basically rip you to shreds. That's his mentality. He did 15 years in prison. Another 8 years for grand larceny.
What's larceny?
Stealing something very expensive. $20,000 worth of jewelry. His story is that he was in a bar, and he just met this guy, and this guy said, look, I got this jewelry, these are diamonds, you want to buy them? Roland paid him $700 for them, $800. And the cops catch up with the guy who sold them to him. So, he told him he gave them to Roland, the cops arrested Roland and charged him with it too.
Yeah.
What doesn't make sense about that is that the guy said that he sold them to Roland. He admitted that he sold them to Roland. And the cops didn't know Roland was innocent. So he had to be saying that Roland was engaged in a criminal activity with him.
Yeah, I guess they thought if he could snitch on someone, he would get a lesser sentence. But which is, in some cases it's true, in most cases still rip you to shreds either way.
Yeah. So these are the kind of games that he's used to playing, but he's not good at them. He just thinks he is. And the only reason he's getting away with it is because some jackass with a badge is letting him do it and telling him it's okay to do it. And Eva, let's talk about her.
Oh, God.
She went to prison for 8 years for prostitution. Not 2 months, not 6 months, not 1 year, with 6 years suspended in case you do it again. 8 years in the city of New Orleans for prostitution. Yeah, I'm sure that must be the light sentence for first-time offenders who's never been arrested before, right? She was a repeat offender. She had to be.
No, New Orleans is a huge place, and usually they don't really. Yeah, for cops, I mean, really, in places like Detroit, you're going to spend years trying to arrest every fucking hooker in downtown. They don't arrest the hookers. What they try and get is the guys that are buying the hookers. They don't get the hookers unless they catch them in the act. They just see a girl stand there.
They use hookers. Hookers are...
Yeah, they use them. They don't really
Cops
arrest.
use hookers to do whatever they want. They make them... They're liars. They use them to stage fabricated evidence.
Yeah.
Like Shantae next door. That's what they do. And they're hookers, and they don't care. They do whatever they're told. And they're usually drug addicts. Eva was a drug addict. Serious drug addict. Roland was talking to Paul one day in the living room, and I was standing there. And Paul started asking about Eva. Did she like her new place over in Fairfield Manor? Or Fairfield Condominium? She's over there by the Moffett Mansion. And Roland said, oh, she was holding out for this boyfriend of hers that was supposed to have been released from prison. And as soon as she gets back with him, she's going to start using drugs again because he was a drug addict. And she's a drug. She showed up for one night. She lost something in Lincoln, her keys, her house keys. She was drunk and Roland came back in. He told me she's drunk. I said, what did she want? He said, oh, she lost something in Lincoln. Her house keys. She dropped them in the house. She dropped her house keys in the Lincoln, couldn't find them. He said, she's drunk. She tried to bet her drunk and she took sober. So she's a chronic alcoholic and a drug addict. And fucked a guy, this boyfriend of hers. Judge looked at his rap sheet and said he should have gotten 50 years in prison for all the drugs that he had been engaged in, but he was a snitch for the DEA, Roland said. And they didn't sentence him. They didn't make him do time for the crimes he committed. So, he went to prison this last time because he's got a judge who looked at his rap sheet and said, you know what, you should have done 50 years for this. I'm sending you to prison. You're not getting a get out of jail free card again this time, son. And so that's what it is. They're just running a game on that.
Ron, what's the difference between a county prison and a federal prison?
Well, that's like the parish jail is the one thing. Federal prison? Mm-hmm. That is a prison for people who are convicted of crimes by federal court.
What's that?
Well, there's local courts, state courts, and federal courts. There's a federal courthouse in Shreveport. U.S. Attorney's Office is out of Lafayette, though.
Oh.
But federal judge, that is at the federal level, that means across the nation. Federal is the federal government that governs the whole nation, the federal government. The state government is the government that just governs the state. The state of Louisiana, Department of Taxes, or Department of Taxation, you know.
Affairs.
Right. So Louisiana State Department of Education.
Oh, God.
Right. Louisiana State Treasury, stuff like that. So every state has its own bureaucracy of government offices. And you can be charged with crimes at the federal level, and you can also have legal proceedings at the federal level in civil matters, just like you do at the state level. It just depends on the case. And that sounds like a lot of horseshit, and there's more to it, but you know what? Ask your teacher. She'll probably give you a better answer.
So, the federal penitentiary sounds a lot more secure than a state prison.
Yeah. There's a federal penitentiary in Jackson, Louisiana, for federal crimes. It's the only one in Louisiana. It's in Jackson.
Are federal penitentiaries for life? Who do they house?
People that are convicted of crimes at the federal level.
Something like murder and shit like that?
I
mean, the difference in type of crime.
What is a federal crime like?
Yeah.
I think that would be more like agency bullshit.
Like what?
Like IRS. It would probably be a federal crime to cheat on your taxes, not at the state level, but the IRS is a national government agency that would prosecute you as a criminal for evading your taxes. If you're convicted, you would probably do time in a federal penitentiary.
Whenever you go into a federal penitentiary, you just want to find rich people who have avoided taxes. You're not going to find just murderers and shit like that.
Right. I think they have Gizmo out on the porch. You want to go let her in? Hey, run down those stairs and get that patty cat containers on the ground. Oh, they're outside over there next door. Oh, don't worry about it then.
Wait, I thought that federal penitentiary was for the more hardcore people, though. Hardcore criminals.
Well, federal crimes are supposed to be, really bad to be convicted of a federal crime.
Well, I thought that a federal penitentiary meant, like, maximum security and shit like that.
I guess it can. I'm sure. I don't know that much about it. I mean, if the federal government charges you, that's when the U.S. attorney charges you, as opposed to the state's attorney, or the city attorney, or the DA's office, I guess. Not the city attorney, but the district attorney's office would prosecute you for crimes that, say the police write you a ticket, that's something you get a ticket for from the district attorney's office. The police write you the ticket and the DA prosecutes you in the courtroom. So I don't know. The U.S. attorney, for example, prosecutes people for illegal wiretapping, violations of federal law, which are illegal crimes, those can be criminal penalties. It's strictly prohibited by Department of Justice standards to illegally monitor or surveil somebody without consensual monitoring guidelines being
Wait, that's federal crime?
Yeah, it's federal.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So the U.S. attorney, I filed a complaint with the U.S. attorney about it, what's been done to us, which nothing was ever done about it, and with the FBI. And,
okay, nothing's going to happen. It's not many people know about. Make it put it into the public eye. Because trying to become, like, more friends with more people and tell more people about it, just making random YouTube videos and Facebook posting about it, no one's going to really do that shit. You gotta, like, become friends with people and then tell them the shit that's going on and, gain publicity that way and go to find a friend that knows, like, the news reporter and go to the news. I was itching a lot earlier.
you were, because I'm itching too. My scalp is itching me. And,
So, if you make sure publicly sane, then the FBI will take notice.
yeah. Well, the U.S. attorney, for example, if you want to do consensual monitoring, there's only certain little crimes that have been committed that it can be used for. So to monitor somebody, if you read the laws, Title III, it says that this law applies to every law enforcement officer in the United States, Sheriff's Department, Department of Corrections, everybody, all law enforcement officers in the United States shall abide by these regulations. And the U.S. attorney is the person that you have to go to get a consensual monitoring search warrant. So, the U.S. attorney is the one who has to approve those. And I think he has to submit that to a judge also. So, there's stuff like that, like FBI. The FBI investigates terrorism in the United States. The CIA only investigates terrorism in foreign countries. The National Security Agency could investigate crimes here, but the CIA does not have operations in the continental United States or
That's bullshit.
on American soil.
That's bullshit.
They're not supposed to be operating on American soil.
That's still bullshit. That's without doubt complete bullshit. Yes, but I'm not certain that the CIA
Mhm.
has to operate on American soil. That's just stupid to say it hasn't. Because who's going to keep the CIA in check? The CIA in check.
Mhm. Right, and they're regulated by federal guidelines.
You think
Mhm.
they follow them? Jesus, they're the fucking CIA.
They have basic federal guidelines, but then there's a lot of stuff they do that nobody knows what they
Yeah.
do. You know,
That's
the
it.
NSA is 10 times larger than the CIA is.
Yeah, the CIA is stronger.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys when they decide to do what they're doing,
You have no idea.
yeah, you wouldn't know it, and they risk their lives to do it when they surveil people.
Yeah.
They do it and hope like hell that they don't get caught. I remember watching that movie about that Osama bin Laden CIA lady. Remember she was driving out of her gate? Somebody tried to blow up her car. Remember she went to a restaurant and somebody blew up the fucking restaurant?
Yep.
They risk their lives doing undercover work. But hey, we don't need them. We should just call Roland and the drunkard people, Pat and Ronnie and Shante, and all their fun little nigger snitch friends that they have that come out here and lie about me and you all the time and drink and do drugs out in broad daylight in front of God and everybody. We don't need to worry about Department of Justice guidelines. We don't even need federal law. Fuck the CIA. We don't need them or the NSA. We can close all them down and just get all the straight trash niggers to do it for us. And they'll say you can do whatever you want to. Until somebody that can actually stop them shows up and puts a fucking baseball bat through their skull, then they'll run like the pussies that they are. Especially bitches and assholes like evil. Being the fucking whore that she is. You know what I've noticed about her, she's self-employed.
Yeah.
So she's making her money somewhere.
Oh, yeah. It's probably possible.
I wonder how many games are running on how many people. I have another answer to that one.
So I believe we need to go to sleep.
Yeah, we do. She's self-employed, and so is Sherry, the cat lady.
Oh, yes, the cat lady.
Self-employed.
That's for that. That's for cat. How many cats does she have? 12?
Oh, probably about 40.
Yeah.
They're all strays. She feeds them and takes them to Robinson's Rescue to get them fixed so they don't reproduce, and then re-releases them back onto the street.
Yeah.
And they get their ears clipped to show that they're feral cats. How is that the right thing to do? They're going to go back out on the street, and they're going to scramble for food and get run over by cars. How is that the humane thing to do? And then they're going to get chased by dogs and bitten by snakes, and they should be euthanized.
Oh, wow.
Or they should be put into some type of shelter where they can be kept until people want to collect them. And when you feed strays, guess what happens?
What?
They come back.
Exactly.
And you know what happens when they've eaten well?
What?
Then they fuck well. And they make more kittens. You should never feed a stray cat. If you want to do anything to help that cat, do not feed it.
Wow.
Don't even pay attention to it unless you want to take it to a shelter. Take it to a shelter or take it in. And if you want to start feeding it, then you can start feeding it just because you happen to like that particular cat. But the right thing to do is to never feed a stray cat.
Rather starve it.
Well, when you start feeding it, they'll come back to you. Then they'll always come back to you. The right thing to do would be to take it to a shelter and have it euthanized.
Have it killed rather than, wow.
Yeah. You should have it killed so that it's not running the streets and getting run over and being terrified and huddling under a couch, a house in the dark, freezing cold, soaked in rain, and experiencing the most terrible despair of being, destitute and uncared
It's called
for.
a wildcat,
Well, I know, but animals do experience emotions, not like we do, but, I mean, it's a terrifying way for an animal to live. You wouldn't
Well,
want
you don't know what that cat experience is.
Have you ever seen a cat that's been starved? I have. It's not pretty.
Right.
A starving animal in the street, scared of its own shadow. Remember that cat we saved that was in that bush? Remember that?
Yeah. Right.
I wish we had kept that cat.
Yeah, so where do we take it?
To Sherry.
Yeah.
She said she immediately fed it, and it ate, and then it was very friendly to her. It was stuck in a bush.
Have you ever watched that show, The X-Files?
Yeah. I watched it every now and again. Not too much, though. I just thought it was so cornball.
What was it about? Did they really good things?
Well, I mean, sometimes it was kind of interesting. It was just wacky stories that they dramatically interpreted, you know, like aliens and weird things that people do and stuff like that.
Wasn't it supposed to be like a division of the CIA?
It's a division of the FBI.
Oh, the FBI.
Yeah, FBI agent Dana Scully. Scully and the other guy was, she had red hair, Scully, and the other guy was, I can't remember the guy's name, but I can see his face. I don't remember his name.
Okay, usually the regular police and the state police, or yeah, mostly like the police department, they shit bricks when the FBI comes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not normal, it's something big must have happened to the FBI comes, they don't know. And then the FBI shits bricks when the CIA comes. And they're really fucked. And the CIA probably shits bricks when the NSA comes. Which I think that, I feel like the NSA and the CIA are sort of at an equal level.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of.
I guess. I don't know much about what they do. All I know is I met people that look like that's what their thing was. I don't ever want to meet them again. They are not nice.
Really?
Really.
Well, you met him?
I think I've met a couple of them. You can just
CIA?
tell. You can just tell.
CIA?
Yeah, I think maybe, or I don't know if they were CIA, NSA, or FBI, or who they were, but you can tell they were just kind of a little bit on the twerky side there, a little bit on that, you know.
What, they just started twerking right there? Just like,
yeah, that's kind of what they're just weird people. They're weird. I don't know, it's almost like they're glowing in the dark or something. They just sort of, it emanates from them what motivates them, what they are all about, what they do. It just, you can tell. And they don't ever tell you what they do like that, but they let you know. If you talk to them long enough, then they kind of start acting kind of squirrely with you. I don't know, it's just the things they'll say to you.
like what?
And the way they say it.
Like you can tell they're not your average suburban person. They don't talk about the same thing. If they do, you can tell that they're faking it. Oh shit, their life is completely fake when it comes to CIA.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are the real deal, and they have huge responsibilities. That'd be a little strange, too. They'd go all over the world and kill people and, you know, get caught doing something, get killed, you know, go into an operation as an undercover agent, and then somebody finds out who you are, and then you get shot. I mean, that'd be a little strange, too. You know what I mean? Ouch, there went my knee.
What?
My knee just popped.
Oh.
It was loud.
Oh, that sucks.
You have your phone? It's on your bed, isn't it?
Which one?
Your alarm.
My line?
Yeah. Oh, you don't need it, do you?
No.
I'll set mine.
I don't have to go to school tomorrow.
No, you don't.
Well, Roland said we could use the car.
Yeah, they were messaging me asking if I drive. Should I drive myself to work tomorrow?
And ask my
Because he's got plans or something he's got to do tomorrow, then, you know, there's no way for me to know that.
You ask him tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
He's very good at getting in the house. Please try it again.
I won't eat the other can.
I'm planning on eating that for breakfast tomorrow. Remember that.
Spaghetti and meatballs from a can.
I'm very tired. Straightening up. I would want to right now to just go to sleep right now.
We should definitely do it.
I gotta put on my dress.
Well, here, I can cover mine. Here we go. Spaghetti and meatballs. By firelight. Lantern.
This was really funny. On Friday, everybody, I said, there's times thank you for such an amazing, wonderful experience. You've been so wonderful and so helpful for this learning experience. I said it just like that. And she just broke out laughing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. Y'all have a good time at school too, don't you?
And
She's fagged out, man.
No food, sorry. No food.
No food, get no. Love you, no more food. Sorry, that freaks her out. You start talking to her like that. But you're telling her no at the same time with such a happy tone in your voice. Are you going to scratch again tonight, kids? I don't think so. We know that we're not going to scratch. And that's what the drunkard woman did. And that's what these snitches do. They hold phones up to their ears. They lie in wait for me and my son to walk out of our apartment or walk towards a store entrance or walk out of a store. One guy one night, when Jake and I walked out of a video store, our vehicle was the only one in the parking lot. It was a guy that had parked his red car next to my Durango, was doing laps around my Durango. Really. When I found up to there, he wasn't talking on. And then that's it. Nobody, I mean, that drunker woman walked out on the second floor porch next door and looked straight down at me. I held the phone up to her and stood there for like, a minute or so. Just held the phone up to her and went back into that second floor apartment next door. Jake and I were sitting in the center with all the windows up. The woman didn't even motion to me or say anything to me. Why are you calling people that I don't know and have no contact with whatsoever and giving them money to go out and make purchases? Food, electronics, high-end expensive items, and just taking their word for it that they say they have contact with me. Because you're sitting there faking the contact is what you're doing. I know it, and that's what you're doing. You got Eva trying to say she's supervising me? Are you fucking serious? A fucking prostitute. Are you serious? Let's not forget that she's self-employed. Just like Roland's friend Sherry. His two favorite girls. With that dote on him. And that's what this is about, is insulting me and taking authority over me. Roland is a fucking scumbag, okay? He's a convicted pedophile and a thief. And he's trying to basically make it so that Jake and I can't go anywhere. And I'm going to play Mama May games about where I go. I'm not going to do that. That is not going to happen. These people are all getting money, and I have never given any of them permission to use any money that's available to me and my son. I haven't been made aware of any money available to me and my son to use. So it's all a game, and everybody's enjoying it. And Jake and I are just the dogs getting used here. Gee, I wonder what happens next when they're done with us. Oh, and the game doesn't work anymore. Huh? What's going to happen then? Gee, should we call Charles Manson and ask him that? Why don't you give him a call? I'm sure he'll have lots of answers for you.